Hey, it worked. All right, you're listening to Geek Vice, halfway across the Midwest, I guess you could say. I have nothing because I have a head cold, and so that took away my sense of humor. Anyway, here's your host, Morph. Hopefully, he has a sense of humor.
No, I do not. I don't have anything. I don't know what I'm doing.
Welcome to my
Welcome
world.
everybody. Welcome everybody to Geek Vice episode number 106. Two geeks struggling to be heard across the vastness of the World Wide Web. We dare to go where millions of men had gone before. I mean, really, someone had to show us how to do it. Thanks for joining us in our geekdom as we discuss all things geek and sometimes relevant topics. Tonight, we've got movies, TV shows, and all kinds of stuff. Oh, and this thing called Star Wars comes out. I have no idea what it is.
It's a small event, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, how are you doing, Mr. Kip?
Well, I'm already hating winter, and we really haven't had it yet. I
Yeah.
uh, I left my house and it was 62 degrees, and by the time I got to Omaha, it was 41 degrees, and then I woke up this morning with a layer of snow on my rental car. So I'm happy.
Oh, that's
I hate
awesome.
snow.
Yeah, especially somebody who grew up in Vegas would really hate snow.
Yeah, I was born in the desert. This snow stuff just hurts me.
Well, you should come back to Kansas City and then you wouldn't have any snow because there's no snow down here.
Well, there's no snow here now because it all melted, but I still had to knock it off the car this morning. So,
Yeah.
it's the smallest inconveniences, but it still pissed me off.
Well, let's see. We've got a few things here this week, and I didn't start the timer, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So,
This is our first ever episode.
you would think we're new at this or something. We haven't done 105 of these things already. Um, so let's start out with some trailers that came out this last week, and actually, I think a couple of them actually came out within the last few days. Star Trek Beyond got a trailer, the new Star Trek movie. Um, I know that Kip has not seen this yet, but I'm going to throw out there that the director, Justin Lin, also directed Fast and the Furious movies, and it looks like it.
Oh, really?
I I don't think this movie looks like a Star Wars movie.
You mean Star Trek?
Or Star Trek. Sorry.
That's why it
Yeah.
doesn't look like
Oof.
Star Wars.
That's why it doesn't look like Star Wars. It doesn't even look, honestly, it looks closer to a Mad Max trailer than it does a Star Trek trailer.
That's amazing to
Like
me.
it you see very little of a ship. You see these guys down on a planet basically stranded. Um I, the movie might be really good. It's very possible that it's really good. But it just, I don't know. It looks like something that we've seen before, and I'm curious to see how pissed off Star Trek fans are now that J.J. Abrams is not directing Star Trek. He's still titled as executive producer, so he still has hands in it, but um, I don't know.
That's I haven't watched it on purpose because I heard that it was going to be shown in front of Star Trek or Star Wars. So I've been kind of just holding off so I could get the whole experience in the movie theater.
Right.
But I totally spaced off the fact that it wouldn't be done by J.J. Abrams because he was a little busy with this small film called Star Wars. And
Yeah.
when you say that it reminds you of like Mad Max, does it look like maybe it's on Tatooine by any chance?
It's very possible. It's very possible that maybe they just kind of worked with Star Wars and put these things together. I don't know. Paramount and Disney working together. Could it happen?
It could happen. As
But
long
I
as
mean, I
that
guess
blonde chick doesn't come on there and start singing "Let It Go," I think we'll be all right.
there you go. There you go. I guess there is one thing. We talk about this TV show called Almost Human that we both really really liked.
Yeah, I'm still
Um,
pissed it got canceled.
well, Carl Urban is in the Star Trek movie, so
Yeah, he's Bones.
yeah. So I guess we got that going for us.
Well, yeah, this is true. So, outside of it looking like Mad Max meets Fast and the Furious, did you like the trailer?
Um, yeah. I just don't know. See, that's the thing. It's like I kind of like the trailer, but I don't know that the trailer didn't make me want to go see this movie.
Well, that kind of goes against the whole reason to make a trailer, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I just need another one that kind of gives a little bit more of what the hell's actually going on. Um, I don't know. There's sometimes you can watch a trailer and you're like, yes, I want to see more of that. Case in point, the latest X-Men Apocalypse movie. Um, that one made me want to watch the movie more. Like it's like,
Yeah.
yes, that it build up the suspense, it build up some drama. You get to see some characters. You want to see what's going on. But this one felt like Star Trek is supposed to be. I mean, the big part of Star Trek is the ship. And apparently the ship gets destroyed in this movie, and I'm tired of seeing the ship destroyed. Do we have to blow up the ship? I mean, really?
Well, did you see the second international trailer for Star Wars?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I thought I did, but I
Well,
don't
you
remember a
say the
ship
ship
getting
gets
destroyed.
destroyed in the second international trailer for Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon crash lands. Did you see that?
Oh, maybe I didn't even notice that.
Ah,
Maybe I was too busy looking at all the other pretty stuff. Um, but I guess the Millennium Falcon. I mean, that's kind of a different thing because the Millennium Falcon is kind of it's that quote unquote junk ship in Star Wars. That it's not the pretty picturesque ship. That's the gun runner. That's not the symbol of the rebellion.
that's true, and it's not the thing the whole movie is centered around, such
Right,
as USS Enterprise.
right. I mean, the Enterprise is supposed to be that big thing that when it comes in, it's coming in to save the day, not coming in to get destroyed. So I don't know. The movie could be really good. And this is just the first trailer. This movie doesn't come out until July 22nd. So there's still plenty of time for more trailers to come out. And maybe there's a Star Trek geek out there that is a bigger Star Trek geek than I am and can come on and tell us or email us at geekvice@gmail.com and let us know why this trailer really was good.
That's just funny.
Or why I should go see this movie.
There, that's better.
Yeah, maybe that's better. The other movie that came out, or the other trailer that came out, is a sequel to Independence Day. Um, it's kind of funny that you got a Independence Day sequel. What is that, like 20 years or something?
Yeah, it came out in the mid '90s, didn't it? Late '90s.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, it's called Independence Day Resurrection, and it came out in 1996. So yeah, we're looking at, and it's scheduled to come out in 2016.
For 20 years.
So a full 20 years in theaters, June 24th. 2016. And it's not a reboot, it's not a remake. The trailer specifically, and this is kind of where this trailer does really well. That movie hasn't been seen, the original movie hasn't been seen in 20 years, or what didn't come out, hasn't been out in theaters for 20 years. And they start off saying, we knew that this day was going to come. We knew they were coming back. And we've reversed engineered their technology. You see big cannons like set up around military bases that look like ion cannons from XCOM or from any of your Alien video games. You see ships that have alien technology incorporated into their design. Kind of looks cool. The one thing that I will say about that trailer that I thought was really great, you did not see an alien.
Good.
There were no aliens in that trailer. You saw ships. You saw really big ships. You saw some ships crash. You saw, you saw some things get destroyed. But it really that trailer really gave it the feel of the original one, where the aliens weren't necessarily the focal point. It was the ships. It allowed for more practical effects. It allowed for them to not give a cheesy looking alien to fight. And I'm really curious to see if how they do this with the sequel. It looks like there's going to be some more gunfighting, some more like infiltration type troops in this one. Before it was really just all done with planes and flying through and doing all that. So I'm curious to see if they're going to ruin the movie by showing us aliens in action. I think that's where the movie could fail and really become a laughing stock instead of the more serious scare tactic type movie.
Yeah, did they learn nothing from M. Night Shyamalan? You don't show the alien.
Yeah, no, don't show the alien. Don't show the alien. But you do have some of the same cast. You do not have. There is no Will Smith in this, but you do still have Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman are still in this. It's titled with Liam Hemsworth is kind of the title character, the first on the casting call.
Chris Hemsworth's brother, huh?
Yeah. So this actually looks really good. This kind of makes me want to watch this movie. Believe it or not, this movie actually felt like I was watching a trailer to, or maybe a cutscene from XCOM. There's a new XCOM 2 that's supposed to be coming out here soon, if it's not already out. I haven't looked recently. But that's a movie about aliens taking over, or a video game around aliens taking over the world, and that's kind of what this movie feels like. It actually felt like it was something I wanted to watch. It makes me want to watch this movie again. Kind of makes me want to go watch the original Independence Day, which I don't know that I have on DVD.
I think I do. You can borrow it sometime.
I think all you got to do is turn on like regular television. It's probably, well, it used to be shown on like TNT or TBS like every year.
Yeah, I'm sure around July 4th you can watch it 25 times if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, that'll be kind of funny to see how that works out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I think this looks really good. I recommend people go check out the trailer, Independence Day Resurgence. I think Independence Day Resurgence comes out summer of 2016.
Yay!
Yay!
I wasn't too sure when they announced they were going to be doing this, but the trailer and everything makes you think, you know what? I think I'm behind this now. So the fact that it's not a retelling or anything like that, it's truly like, you know what, 20 years has gone by. We knew this was going to happen. I like that idea. I think this, I like the original.
Yeah.
I liked enough about the DVD. I watched it a couple of trillion times, and it's cheesy, but I didn't care. I just enjoyed the ride. So,
Yeah. Well, in the one-liners back in the mid-90s, that's what movies were, kind of centered around. It was,
oh, absolutely, and stuff like when they say, "I don't hear any fat ladies singing," it's like, "Fat lady, you're obsessed with fat women." That stuff just
yeah, no, and I'm gonna be curious to see what they do with this. I mean, the trailer makes it out as a much more serious, a much more kind of thriller type movie instead of a tongue-in-cheek action movie like I think the first one was. So I'll be curious to see if which way they go with this, and I'm okay if the trailer is really isn't just the good parts and there's more to it, then I think I would be okay with a serious Independence Day sequel.
yeah, a little gritty Independence Day. I'm good with it.
Yeah, yeah. So, there's this other movie that comes out this week. What's it called? Wars of the Star.
Yeah, some sci-fi thing going
Some,
on.
yeah. So Force Awakens opens this weekend. I think the premiere was tonight in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Those
So yeah, that's actually where Kip's at right now. He's in the Hollywood of the Midwest.
yeah. Omaha, Nebraska.
So I know, Kip, I know you already have your tickets for it. When are you seeing this, and where are you going to go see it at?
I am actually seeing it Saturday, the 19th. So, unfortunately, well, I'm seeing it at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I don't think I'm going to get to see anybody in costume or anything like that, which is kind of a bummer. But I also have tickets to see it Christmas Day because I'm already convinced it's going to be a great movie and going to want to see it again. So I have tickets for 2 days. I'm completely stoked to see this movie. I hope we don't walk out of that going, wow, what a letdown. I don't think we will, but man, if that does happen, it's going to be the biggest crime against nature.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to give me your thoughts. Next week, we'll have to do a spoiler-free review for it. I believe we're looking at there is a chance that I will be taking the entire family to go see it sometime between Christmas and New Year's.
No way, you're actually going to the movie theater?
And I'll be taking my wife and 2 kids. So,
Wow.
yeah. Now we might be. There's very good possibility we will be doing much like you and going to see it at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. That would be perfect.
That's the only time I could get tickets.
I would rather see it at 9 o'clock in the morning than 9 o'clock at night when I'm dealing with 2 kids. So
yeah, imagine that.
I'm kind of taking a gamble with taking the 3-year-old to go see it. I know my 6-year-old will be just fine. I'm taking a little bit of a risk with the 3-year-old, but he's gone and we've already taken him to see we saw Inside Out, and he sat through that one, and that doesn't have nearly as much action as what a Star Wars movie is going to have. He has sat at home and watched all 3 of the original Star Wars movies, so I think he'll be okay. We'll just have to see.
Well, if he likes, a lot of action and whatnot, I think he'll be fine. I don't think there's going to be a lot of downtime in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's going to be pretty good. So,
yeah.
We will have to do a big review of it after we've both seen it.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Doug and Eddie, and we said we were going to, because we're all three of us are seeing it before you see it, Morph, and
Yeah.
we thought we would all three see it and then just spoil the hell out of it for you, but or
Well,
just make up stories about what actually didn't happen in the movie and make you think it did. But
well,
I've already ruined that, so that's not going to happen.
the magical thing about the way my brain works is people can spoil things for me all day long, and when I go in and watch the movie, I will have forgotten everything that you've told me. So it's okay.
Yeah, hey, I'm the same way. I could watch a movie and then watch it again and go like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot that happened."
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I don't there's no hope for me remembering much of anything. But when it comes to comic books or novels, um
then
I
you're all
can
over it.
I can remember everything that happened. I can actually like look at the cover of the book and go, I don't remember reading this. Read the first page and then go, oh yeah, and then recite the rest of the book. It's just like, so it makes rereading things really difficult.
It does. It sounds like.
But with movies, I seem to forget them, especially if I haven't seen them. So if somebody just tells me stuff, then I usually get whatever they tell me mixed up in my head.
Yeah, well, that can happen.
So, couple other things I want to throw out there. That's movie news for you. Some TV news, just in case we haven't talked about this before. Um, I was going through my list of TV shows that I want to catch up on, and saw that Agent Carter is got a date of coming out in January 19th, and Legends of Tomorrow is 2 days later, January 21st. So we've got both of those shows that will be have official dates. And I know we've talked about Legends of Tomorrow before. Kip thought we had mentioned Agent Carter before, but I didn't have it written down, so I have it written down now.
Yeah, so that's all part of that. Somebody spoiling a movie for you and then forgetting about it. Same thing.
Yeah, yeah, same thing. That's
Yeah.
all I got. Yeah,
Well, Agent Carter, my wife really didn't like the show, which is hilarious. But hopefully, it's improved enough that she's going to want to watch it because we're behind on so many TV shows that another one starting up is just more noise at this point.
yeah,
So I'm
I know
hoping
the
it's really
feeling.
good, so it's worth the noise.
Yeah,
Besides, Haley
I
Atwell is not hard to look at. So
exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to get caught up on Arrow. I'm trying to get caught up on Flash. I'm trying to get caught up on Agents of Shield. I've got all this stuff that I'm trying to get caught up on. I haven't even started the Flash yet. Um, I'm I'm only I'm not even halfway caught up on Agents of Shield, but I really want to. It's like I got all this stuff that I want to watch, and I'm really far behind. I'm hoping that the Christmas break, this mid-season break, before when I was always caught up on TV shows, I hated this time. But now I'm actually kind of excited for it because I think I might be able to get caught up on a few of the shows.
yeah.
So,
Well, I'm going to give you a segue here, but I'm finding that TV shows like this are hard to keep up on. But
mhm.
if they use the Netflix model and put it all out at one time, I watch it.
Yeah,
AKA, or for example, Jessica Jones.
yeah, yeah.
I,
Finish
I
that one. Finished that one in what I think I finished it in 4 days, maybe.
yeah, something the same here.
Yeah,
Watched half of it one night, and then next night watched another quarter of it, and the next night we finished it off. I mean,
yeah,
really, when I've got time to sit down and watch TV, I'm going to sit down and watch TV. But if I have something that I can watch, all 13 episodes, or something I watch one episode and wait a week, I'm going to choose the 13 episode and just binge the hell out of it.
Well, and that was kind of the thing. I mean, I started the show, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch one episode. I'm just gonna watch one and get it started, and then I'll watch another one the next night. I watched that first one and I'm like, oh, I cannot turn this off. I need to watch the next one. And then I needed to watch the next one. And before I know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I've watched 4 episodes. It's like,
Exactly right.
yeah, I need to go to bed so I can go to work the next day. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? I'm only going to watch one because I'm exhausted. I'm going to watch one and then I'm going to go to bed. Yep. I've watched more than one. So Jessica Jones is, I put this in the notes and I think this is actually true. I think Jessica Jones might be the best produced show by Marvel. I think it is definitely their best TV show. I think it's better than Daredevil. I think it's better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think it's better than Agent Carter. And I would argue that this TV show is better than the movies, any of the movies. I think it's, and I think part of the reason that makes it so good is that it is so relatable. There is not a single thing in here that you don't look at and go, well, that's a little over the top. I think David Tennant as Kilgrave is spectacular. I think the way they handle him, the way they make him just completely amoral, like just it's just perfect. I mean, he doesn't.
They did it in such a way that you realize he knew he was doing bad, but to him it didn't feel like he was doing bad. And his power is so powerful. Sorry for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I thought about a lot after I finished the show. It's like that is the scariest superpower I've ever seen. And if you really put some thought into what that would do to a person, they gave you hints, but wow, that is just probably in the wrong hands the most evil power anybody could ever have.
Well,
and I thought David Tennant played it where he had it, he knew he had it, but he still kind of tempered it a little bit. But he was still a petulant child, so he used it when he wasn't getting his way. But he could have been much worse if he wanted to be, and that's the scary thing about it.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I've read articles, I've read comments, I've talked to people, and they, you know, whenever I say that this is the most realistic, down to earth show, they argue with me. Well, there's, you know, David Tennant's powers are just so, you know, the Kilgrave's powers are just so out there that you can't see them, so it's hard to fathom them being real. And I would argue that no, we already see that power now. You see it in religious cults. You see it in people blindly following somebody.
Right.
I mean, you see it in the whole in the Charlie Manson stuff. You know, these are people that they just say things. They just tell you to go do something, and their followers just pick up and do it, unquestioning.
And you could also say, I don't know, like something recent, like I don't know, ISIS, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this power is just so easy to comprehend, and I love the way the show makes Kilgrave. They almost there was episodes in there where you almost felt sorry for him.
Yes.
You know, there was a point where he makes a comment to Jessica like, do you realize how hard it is to have this power and not use it? Like, I have to watch every word that I say, because if I just tell somebody to go, you know, go bleep off, they're gonna go do it. You know, is
I think he said I told a guy to go fuck himself. He said, imagine how that turned out. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah, and we say, you say that stuff all the time. You say that, you know, you can say, you think about it. It got me thinking about everything that I say during the day, everything, and it's like, oh, wow, yeah, if I had that power, I would be in big trouble with just the way I talk, my sarcastic tone, you know, saying things that I don't actually mean. A lot of that hyperbole stuff,
yeah,
that's not going to work.
no,
And so it was kind of interesting. I love the way they handled that. Jessica Jones's ability and her torment, the way she was a the way she was portrayed as being broken, but the strongest character there was awesome. I thought they did a great job with. I mean, people talk about wanting to have a strong male character and that it's too hard to write for a strong female character. Holy crap, they did it with Jessica Jones. I mean,
yeah.
and I could watch it. I, I want another season. I want them to do another season of this before another season of Daredevil. I
I'll
mean,
probably rewatch the entire season over the Christmas break
yeah,
because there's enough in that I want to. Now that you know how it ends and everything. I want to watch it again to just see if there's little cues and stuff that we didn't pick up on. I love the inside stuff like that.
yeah,
You talked about how Jessica Jones was broken, and that also harkens back to Kilgrave's power. Why was
yeah,
she broken? Because of him,
yeah,
and she was extraordinary.
yeah,
Um, think about an ordinary citizen that he would do this to. These people, mind fucked is the best way to say it.
yeah.
That one cop,
Oh
he
yeah,
just never really recovered from it.
right.
He
And
acted like he did, but he never really did.
yeah,
And here's a guy who was a cop. He was special forces, so he's also mentally stronger than most people, and he was still screwed.
yeah,
Average Joe, average Jane off the street, you get done. He gets done with you, and he doesn't have you kill yourself. You're going to do it anyway
yeah,
because
yeah.
that
And
total loss of control just messes with you.
well, and just listening to the stories of the survivors in the support group,
Yeah,
and one of the guys tells the story that he picks up Kilgrave, gets in the car, and the kid's screaming in the back seat, and he tells him to drop his kid off, and he just opens the door and lets the kid out and then drives off. And I mean, he has to live with that for the rest of his life. He's never going to get his kid back. Because nobody believes him that this guy could do this to him. And it's, um,
well, like that poor guy at the bar. To get him to shut up, he told him to go across the street, stare at the fence forever.
yeah,
Granted, he wouldn't because apparently the effects wear off after a while. But that guy stood there and soiled his pants.
yeah,
You could tell at that point when they showed him standing there, he was done. He was toast. His brain was fried. And he
yeah,
even tried to turn his head and yell for help, and he couldn't
right.
because the power is so overwhelming. He had to do what he was told,
Yeah,
and even though it meant harm to himself, harm to others, you couldn't stop yourself. And it's that kind of a villain was Jessica Jones was great without it, but with that villain, just put it so far over the top. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I love the interaction between uh, I love the connection between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Um,
Oh yeah, they were
from
totally addicted to each other. They couldn't help themselves.
Well, and not only that, there was that side of it, the one person that he could actually let go and just, you know, be him and not hold back. But also the connection of the reason she was watching him was because she was she basically tracked him down because she killed his wife.
Yeah,
That connection there of the two of them, that's something that's going to, you know that's going to build that's going to be built on, that's going to build a tumultuous relationship, that's and from what I've read, I don't actually remember that. I believe that is something that is solely to the TV show, that didn't come out of the comic books. um but I'm really kind of curious. I'm curious to see where they go with this, and if they do a second season. I can't see them not doing one. They've already said there's going to be a second Daredevil one. Obviously, we got a little while to wait because we got Iron Fist. We got, I believe, a Luke Cage Independent
yeah.
is the other one, and then we'll have a Defenders Netflix series, which will be a team up between Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. And then I think we get into our sequels, I think is the way that's going to work. But I really liked how they connected Daredevil and Jessica Jones. They didn't do it over the top. Um, they did it fairly subtly. Matt Murdock's name was mentioned. Um, there was also the night nurse who
Right.
basically fixed up Daredevil, ended up saving Luke Cage's life. Um, I also like the way they used Luke Cage as the big bad guy, that Jessica had to fight. You knew there was going to be somebody superpowered that she was going to have to fight, and I liked how they worked in the Luke Cage angle. Um, it really, I don't feel like they missed any beats. Like, I guess if I had the one complaint was the crazy sister of the girl that Kilgrave killed, of the female neighbor. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did not like her, and I know you weren't supposed to like her, but I felt like she was annoying and over the top. Like, I just,
She was, but towards the end there, after when her brother disappeared, you actually got to where you felt for her character. I actually felt sorry for that girl. In
I
her
just,
own twisted way, she had found what she needed in her brother,
yeah.
and when it was gone, she was a lost soul, and I thought it was portrayed very well.
Well, and it was definitely it just went to show the extent of Kilgrave's influence, the
Yes.
extent of, like you said, everyone he messed with, if they didn't die, they were tortured, and they had to live with what they did. But not only that, but the other people around. I mean, Kilgrave never talked to that girl, but her life was completely flipped upside down by all of that stuff, just
Yeah.
for proximity. Um,
And then by proxy, it affected Jessica Jones because that girl blamed Jessica Jones.
yeah, yeah. And so it was, there's not enough good things I can say about it. I have to say that the ending I thought was perfect. I thought it was well done.
It
Um,
wasn't overly done, which was perfect.
yeah, it was subtle enough and quick enough. It didn't feel like they didn't drag out the final battle between, Kilgrave and Jessica. It was It was just long enough. They ended it the way it needed to be ended. We won't spoil it with what that is, but I felt like the ending was perfect. If you haven't seen this, you need to go watch it. It is an awesome TV show. And it's only on Netflix.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It is on Netflix, and you can watch as much of it as you want or as little of it as you want. But I definitely recommend it. It's gritty. There's even sex scenes in it, but no nudity, which is a bummer. But hey, I got over it. It's just one of those TV shows. When you get done watching it, you're like, "Wow, I wouldn't have changed a thing."
Yeah,
or maybe the food, but yeah. So go and watch it. Go watch it. Hopefully, we didn't spoil too much of it. I wanted to spoil the hell out of it, but I think we'll just kind of keep that on the down low for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about this is, I'm pretty sure we could spoil all of it, and you could still go back and watch this, and it would still be that good because there's just so much to it, and twisted nature of it. The Jessica's lawyer friend, who I guess you call her friend.
Oh yeah, Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, the way she was manipulated without being manipulated. Kilgrave didn't really use his power on her. He just flat manipulated her. He just played into what she wanted, and
he struck a deal with her for the one thing she really wanted.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, he could have just used his power on her, and he didn't, which I guess was even more of a reason why he's such an evil, conniving person. I mean, he just, it was just awesome. Just good. Go watch it. Go watch.
Go watch it. You'll like it. Damn head cold.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think my statement of this being the best Marvel thing ever or so far, do you think that's too big of a stretch?
I do not. I think it comes down to a matter of perspective. The Avengers movies, the first Iron Man, they were just fun.
Yeah.
But as far as total start to finish, getting it all right, yeah, Jessica Jones is better than those. But it just depends on what you want to watch, what you want out of your entertainment.
Yeah.
If you want to just go in and have a blast, then you're going to say the Avengers or Iron Man 1 is better. But if you want a good, hard story, well acted, well thought out, everything, Jessica Jones.
Yeah, that is true. You're not, if you're going to be looking for, if you're looking for an action show, if you're looking for combat, something like combat like what was in Daredevil, you're not going to get that here. That's the other thing that I thought they did really well. Jessica Jones is not a trained fighter. Luke Cage is a street brawler. There wasn't any fancy jumping around and flying kicks like in Daredevil. This was literally, I'll take a punch so that I can hit you harder, and whoever hits hardest wins. That just happened to be Jessica Jones a lot.
A lot, yes. And I thought Kristen Ritter, I've seen her in stuff where she annoyed the hell out of me, and I've seen her in stuff where I really liked her. And you watch this show and you think, wow, they wrote this part specifically for her. You can't imagine it being any other way.
Yeah. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones is the perfect casting, the same way Robert Downey Jr. is cast as Tony Stark.
Exactly.
I mean,
and maybe even more so.
Yeah, it's spot on. So,
yeah.
All right. I think we've spent enough time jabbering about this.
We've gushed. We have gushed.
And yes, we have spent this much on Jessica Jones because Jessica Jones deserves this much. For those of you out there, you can follow us on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. You can also follow us on Geekvice or on Google Plus and Facebook. Just search for Geekvice. You can follow me on Twitter at Geekvice. You can follow that guy on Twitter at Kip Killigan. Also, keep a close watch on our Twitter feed for our secret project that's coming up with Doug and Eddie, or just Eddie, from the Doug and Eddie fame. It will be a Morph and Eddie show about something that's intergalactic.
Something that may transform your life.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, that's going to be coming up here. We're going to be recording it really soon, and probably I don't know that we'll do it a live recording. I don't know. Maybe we will. I gotta talk to Eddie and see how we want to do that.
We need to work out the logistics, but it's in the process.
But it's gonna happen because Eddie and I are both really big geeks with this. So, yeah. So keep an eye on that. It'll be on our Twitter feed. If we do it live to where everyone can come listen, then follow the Twitter feed or the Facebook feed because I'll make sure they're there. Other than that, you can email us at geekvice@gmail.com. Thanks everybody for listening to our ramblings, and we will see you next week.
Later.